Americans told Washington what they want: lower costs. Yet Brandon Carr's FCC is considering a merger between TV station giants Nexstar and Tegna. If approved, millions of Americans will pay even more to watch TV. They'll pay more to watch the news, entertain their kids, or cheer on their favorite team. Thankfully, President Trump knows what Americans want, and President Trump can stop this. Brandon Carr needs to reject the Nexstar-Tegna merger and protect Americans from higher TV bills. Paid for by Keep It Local Media.
A Heisman Trophy winner has been crowned. It's playoff week for Oregon. The Bears are rolling.
Why do you have that ugly shirt on? Take that ugly shirt off and throw it in the trash. You Homer fan.
And Christmas is around the corner, which means we both have family drama to deal with. I'm Aaron Fentress of the Oregonian OregonLive, and this is the Ducks Confidential Podcast. He is George Wrighster of the Unafraid Show and the CW. George, it is playoff week. We have a Heisman winner. It's Christmas time. I don't know about you, but man, Christmas, it's supposed to be jolly, jolly, happy time, but there's always this little bit of drama here and there.
Hey, I'm jolly happy. Like, I'm good around here.
You good? Okay.
I'm good.
Right. I'm happy too, but it's funny how Christmas
everybody else ain't good, but I'm good.
Oh man, Christmas is funny. Funny times. All right. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about today. Sorry. We're not going to dive much into the game itself. One, because we both believe the Ducks are going to win by as much as they want to, depending on the rain. And two, we're going to have another podcast later in the week. So we'll save the game for later. But let's just dive in real quickly. Okay, Oregon's the new coordinators. Will Stein gone. Tosh LaPointe gone to Cal and Kentucky, respectively. They will coach in the playoffs, though, of course, which is how it's supposed to be. They're replaced by tight ends coach Drew Maringer.
Oh, I know who that is.
And secondary coach Chris Hampton.
I know who that is.
Your thoughts on the in-house replacements?
Who left? Who was the people that left?
Man, don't be like that after the playoffs. Don't be like that now.
True,
you still got 4 games to win.
You're right.
Exactly.
I apologize.
Yeah.
And truthfully, and here's the truth. I'm joking. But I'm super happy for Tosh. I'm super happy for Will Stein. I'm joking about that. But at the same time, I'm joking, but not like there's no hard feelings with them leaving.
Yeah.
Everybody wants professional goals and dreams, and there's money and there's success and all of those things. So I wish all the great things for them. But it's time to move on. But not yet.
Not yet.
There's still work to be done. So don't come around here messing around. Don't be trying to moonlight doing 2 jobs the same good. You got to do this job better than your other job for a little bit.
How hard is that though? No, so recruiting's over. Well, no, it's not over because you still have the transfer portal coming up. And you still have the second signing day, right? So it's not over. And so they're excited about building their program and getting going. But I got to coordinate a playoff team with some like this week, maybe chill. Maybe this week you dig up the Wisconsin game plan and just roll with that. But after that, you got Texas Tech and then maybe Indiana and then maybe Ohio State or Georgia. You got to be focused. Can they do that?
I believe that they can. And truthfully, who better to mentor them through this process than Dan Lanning? Because he did it. He literally did it. And not only did he do it, he did it successfully. They won a national championship. Yeah. So if anybody knows what it's like to juggle both jobs and to be trying to build the program and hire coaches and recruit, he's the one who knows how to do it. And also he can tell them, okay, here's how much time you need to be spending on this, and here's how much like here's how to do it. So I think that he will lay out the expectations, and if they can't meet it, it'll be just like what happened when Nick Saban had to fire Lane Kiffin before the national championship because he couldn't focus on both things at the same time.
Good point. Also, the fact that your 2 replacements are in-house, which means that Lanning already trusts them to coordinate. You got to coordinate, right? And they've been working with the coordinators who are leaving. There's a synergy there where, Chris, LaPointe could be, hey, I gotta deal with this today. Can you make sure you oversee that? And clearly he trusts Chris to do that, and clearly Lanning does, and so you can have the division of labor there and responsibilities, and still come together. Plus, the fact that your first round opponent is a team that part of predicting that Team A is going to blow out Team B is not because you think Team A is just going to show up and not work hard. It's that they're going to work hard like they do their other games, and that's going to make them completely impossible to beat for the lesser team. So the fact that you have a relatively easy opponent in the first round seems to me like that would make a much easier transition than if you were playing Notre Dame. If you're playing Notre Dame, then Tosh Lapoy and Will Stein probably can't spend nearly as much time dealing with Kentucky and Cal as they could these last couple of weeks, and this week as well. All right. Anything else about that? So you like the moves? You're cool with it?
Yes. So I believe that you're right, that it's probably going to make it better that they're in-house, because Lanning has probably been preparing them for this for a minute, especially once all these coaching jobs open. He's like, I'm probably going to lose both of these dudes. You know what I mean? So he's probably been preparing them for that and getting them ready. So you're right. They may have more responsibility in this JMU game, while Tosh and Stein are working more on the Texas Tech week and stuff like that. So there's going to be a division of labor, and it also makes it better, because now they're getting an opportunity to even be a bigger part of it. But I wouldn't necessarily get too used to Chris Hampton being around either. I think he's next one out the door, probably. I'm serious. In terms
2 years,
of
can he give Oregon 2 years? 2 years, maybe?
I don't know, bro. He might. It
really?
might.
He can be one and done.
Maybe.
He's that good.
Maybe
he's that good.
No. Well, he's co-head coach already, and people believe that he's kind of next up in that line of head coaches. I know he's interviewed. I think he interviewed for him, Samples has interviewed for, I think, Sam Houston State, and other people have interviewed in different places.
Okay.
So yeah.
You got a text.
Yeah.
I can tell you paused and glanced at your phone. And you're like, and your wheels were turning, trying to get back on track. Oh, now he's grabbing his head. Okay, let's move on to the next topic. I'll give you a couple seconds as I intro it. All right. So we're going to talk about just the buzz around this game, or lack thereof. So look, everyone, I think, to a person would agree that if this were Notre Dame or Bama, the electricity would be just off the charts. So I actually wrote a story that I published today on the logistics of operating a playoff game, which is not much different for Oregon than any other game. Been there, done that. There's a few tweaks they have to make that the CFP requires, but they've had a year and a half to plan that, because that stuff was passed out to teams last year, and Oregon was prepping last year just in case they were going to host, but then Oregon beat Penn State, so they didn't have to host. So Oregon, as professional as that place is, and as many big games as they've had, playoff game, whatever. But I talked to, someone at a restaurant, I think it was Hop Valley Brewing Company, talked to their manager, Randy Olson. And, she even said, yeah, we wish this was Notre Dame, but they're expecting an extra weekend of business that they might have not had without the playoffs. But she even said, Indiana fans came in on Thursday and they were rocking through Saturday. She expects JMU fans to probably do the same.
They're
but
for sure going to show up. They are.
Yeah, they're going to show up.
It is when in the NCAA tournament, teams that don't normally make it, bro, their fans show up in droves, because they're like, we don't know when this is going to happen again. And what if?
Right. And so here's the thing. There's a ton of tickets available. If you go on Ticketmaster, there's a ton of blue, which is what Ticketmaster has on for sale. And then there's a ton of red in there, because people are trying to flip their tickets, because the CFP sets the price, and they've set it at 2-3 times what they normally would be. I've talked to people who are like, yeah, I got my bill in the mail and it's twice as much as my normal ticket, but I'm watching JMU as opposed to Notre Dame or Bama. And so I don't know if it's going to necessarily sell out. However, if you're a JMU fan and JMU is given 3,500 tickets to sell, but if you're a JMU fan, you can go on Ticketmaster if you want to pay through the nose, and you can come. If you remember last year, Ohio State was hosting Tennessee. That place was packed with, dude, which is what Ohio State fans doing? Oh, they were thinking it's Tennessee. We're going to roll them anyway, I guess.
They were right.
Tennessee fans just came in, and they were paying a premium. They were probably paying 4 times or probably twice the face value, which is already twice as much as the regular value during the regular season. So they packed that place out, and they got smashed. I expect to see a lot of JMU fans if that fan base is serious about their team.
They were like, oh, this is Knoxville West. This is Knoxville North.
It's insane.
We're taking over their stadium and blah,
they
blah,
did.
Blah. And
it was orange as hell.
Get out our stadium.
I know they got smacked. But what does it say about the Ohio State fans who flipped their tickets instead of going to that game? It's so bizarre to me. But, they probably figured
money.
And money to pay for what? To pay for the next, because you got to go to 2 more rounds.
The Rose Bowl.
No, that was first round. You got to go to 3. You got to go to 3 more rounds. So if I'm a fan, I'm trying to go to 2 of those games.
They're
I'm
like, we're going to Cali.
First round
we're
game.
going to Cali to play the Ducks. We're going to Cali to play the Ducks. That's the game we really want to see.
That's the game we want to go to, or the national, or try to get the tickets for the national championship.
I don't know why they want to go to that game.
But here's the mentality there. But think about this. Okay, you can say, well, you're going to miss them winning a playoff game. Well, if they win, I'm going to go see them in the Rose Bowl. If they lose, I'm glad I wasn't there and I made money off of not going to watch them lose.
Bingo.
It's just fan logic. I get it.
That is dude, that is amazing. So I didn't go to the Rose Bowl last year, right? Because I said, because the kids were out of school, they wanted to go to the snow.
It was down the street from you. Go ahead.
Yeah, correct. But the way the kids' school schedule was set up and our family schedule, that was the only time that we could go. So I was like, listen, and so I debated. I was like, man, I should go to Rose Bowl. And then, so I was there the first couple days covering it, and then we left on New Year's Eve. Actually, yeah. And then so I was like, so I'm out there, and I was like, okay, if they win, I'm going to go to the Cotton Bowl, right? For sure. And then they didn't win, and it was nasty. Do you know how happy I was to be in Lake Tahoe on that? I was out skiing and snowboarding with my family instead of sitting at the Rose Bowl.
Only because they lost.
Yes, correct. Had they, right. but had they won, I would have been happy because then I got to go to the Cotton Bowl. So like that's the fan math makes sense.
Fair. I'm with it.
And I had friends who paid to go to the Rose Bowl and all this stuff, and they were like, "Bro, this was the worst money I've ever spent."
Could you imagine? You know what though? It's true. When you spend that kind of coin,
it's gambling. It is. There's no difference than gambling than going to a sports event. Because how many times have you gone to a sports event and you paid your money? Dude, I went to Game 5 of the Dodgers World Series, and it was a disaster. A disaster. We ended up winning the World Series, but that Game 5 was the worst it could possibly be. And so, and my wife the whole time riding home, see, we shouldn't have spent this damn money. This was way too, because our tickets were super good. They were expensive. She's like, we spent this, we could have did something else and blah, blah, blah. I was like, babe, she's like, why aren't you this upset with the freaking team? I was like, babe, we knew that this was a possible outcome before we got in the car. So
baseball's random.
Yes.
But at least you went to a World Series game. But yeah, to pick the one where they lose when they win the series
yes,
as well is not.
And had we gone to the game the day before, we would have seen 18 innings.
So here's my worst. Here's my worst. Oh, that's right. That would have been a classic. So here's my worst.
To go to that one too.
The first Bears game I ever went to was 1991, Bears at 49ers. A friend of mine in college had season tickets, and then me and another friend drove. We drove for Christmas. It was around Christmas break, end of the season, last game of the year. So we drove down there because we both have family down there to hang out for Christmas and then go to the game. So I'm all excited. I got my Bears starter jacket, 1991 Bears starter jacket.
Is it the same one you got on right
now? No. And we drove down there and we go to the game. I'm with 49er fans, of course, surrounded by 49er fans. And that year, the Bears made the playoffs. They lost to Dallas in the first round. They were 10-6. 11-5. 49ers ended up missing the playoffs, dude. And that was the year. Wait, Montana, the youngster. It doesn't matter. The Steve Young started. Sorry, dude. I'm looking at the box score right now. It's bringing me back. The final score was 52-14.
Damn.
49ers. Jerry Rice was running the end zone every 5 seconds. Steve Young threw for 338 and 3 touchdowns. Musgrave came off the bench and threw a touchdown. Rice had 212. Wait, sorry. I can't read this. Rice had 125 and 2 touchdowns and a 69-yarder. And so my buddies are just giving me the business.
So you felt like bad luck.
And then after the game, I'm walking out, and 49er fans are like, good luck in the playoffs. And I couldn't even say anything. Well, I could say, at least we're in the playoffs. Well, I wasn't going to do that because I was in San Francisco. I didn't want to get my butt whooped. And they just lost 52-14. And, of course, then Dallas beat them. So that's one. Now, I didn't pay a lot. We drove down there as a college kid. I got the ticket for free, right? But if I'd have flown down there and paid to go to that game and watch that, whew, I'd have been hot. So anyway, I get it. I can relate. Okay, let's get to the Heisman. Mendoza wins. I voted Mendoza, Pavia, and Love, which was exactly how it ended up. How'd you vote?
I voted Mendoza, Pavia, and Jacob Rodriguez.
The linebacker from Texas Tech. Yeah, I saw he received like 17 first-place votes. See, I told you before, I hate the fact that it's usually a quarterback award. But to me, a position player is going to have to be pretty special. And I guess he was specific. I know he was, but like statistically, nothing really jumped out.
Well,
that wasn't
statistically, nobody was in
that special anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Statistically. But I do believe that, that being that there was nobody that was crazy statistically like that, then I went to who had the biggest impact on their team, right?
Right.
So I do believe that Pavia, like everybody's like, look what he did with Vanderbilt. I'm like, look what Fernando Mendoza did with Indiana. Indiana is a worse football program historically than Vanderbilt is. They have the most losses in NCAA history. They are a worse football program than Vanderbilt. So the fact that he has them number one in the nation, undefeated, going to the playoff, he led a comeback. He showed toughness. He showed poise, playmaking ability, fourth downs. The dude was nails. So I'm like, him and Pavia were on par, except for he's done more and he's better at the job.
Right.
Had Pavia made the playoff, he would have been my Heisman vote.
That's fair. Yeah.
But then he acted like a doofus after.
And that's what I want to get to next week. How do you feel about what?
So for anybody who doesn't know, so for anybody who doesn't know, he posted on Instagram a picture. It looked like with his offensive line, and he said, "F all the voters, family first." Like he's a mafioso boss, like standing in front of his henchmen, right? And I was like, "This ain't it, bro. This ain't it." Because apparently somebody smart got to him that he trusts or something, because he issued a very good apology. That was an excellent apology. It wasn't just quick. Though. It was thoughtful. It was, Was it AI though? Was it AI? A lot of people. Some people put it into an AI register, and it put out that it sounded like AI or something, where it graded out mostly AI. Of course, they probably put it through. Regardless, I don't care about that. Yeah, I don't care. You want to polish it, Yeah. You that's fine. It was a good apology. Yeah. And I felt like, but it was on par for him. He's an emotional basket case. Like he'll his emotions will get the best of him at times. But you can't say F all voters, because these are the same voters that are going to have to vote you into. I don't know if he was an All-American or not, but like those are the same voters that choose whether you go in Hall of Fames and choose. And these are the same voters who are going to work at networks because that's his next career, is in podcasting or TV, radio, something like that. That's his next career. He's not an NFL quarterback. It's hard to be the bearer of bad news, buddy. How tall is he? Because he's listed as 6 foot, but when he's standing next to other people, he looked like he was maybe 5'9". No, I think he's taller than 5'9". I give him 5'10", 5'11", maybe. Okay, maybe. He looked a lot shorter than guys who were 6'2". Is what I'm saying. Yeah, he did. But so to your point about voters, Aaron Taylor from CBS, he was on TV saying it should be Pavia. Yeah.
And then after Pavia trashed voters, he tweeted out, "Yeah, I guess maybe I was wrong."
Yeah.
So there's a great example right there.
Yes.
You're losing an ally.
And these are the same people that are gonna be in some way directly impacted. You're going to be directly impacted by their thoughts about you. Because they might be like, if they're choosing new, so like, let's say that CBS, if that show with new Heisel and him, that they're looking for somebody new, then what are they going to say? And what are they going to say? If they're like, yo, what do you guys think about Pavia? Nah, bro, I don't really want to work with him. That's all it takes. Or if they're like, yeah, man, he seems like a cool dude. He's entertaining. Let's give him a shot.
I will say this, though. If you look on TV, there's a lot of people with TV jobs who had checkered histories.
Yes.
And so people can overcome it. I think he can overcome it. And
his apology
he did
was
the right
quick
thing by
enough to where
exactly.
it wasn't going to do, it didn't do generational harm. You know what I mean? Like people can be like, okay, he was emotional. He made a bad choice. We understand who he is. And that's it.
Yeah. But still, it was just childish. All right, let's shift to 2026 Heisman candidates. Now, real quick, I went on a couple websites, and here's just some names. Jeremiah Smith, who I want to see winning. I want to see that guy get 1,500 yards so I can vote for a wide receiver. Arch Manning's on the list. To me, that's just a legacy pick right now.
Dude, they just gonna put him on
no
every
matter
damn
what
list.
Ohio State's Julian Sand, who received some first place votes this year, I think, or definitely was top 10. Alabama's Ty Simpson, Georgia's Gunnar Stockton. Sam
Why
Levitt's
is Gunnar
on the
Stockton
list.
on there?
I don't know. Well, because he's at Georgia. He's a solid quarterback. He had a good season. He could elevate. He could elevate up, and they're going to win 10 games again. Sam Levitt's on here, even though he doesn't have a team yet.
Yeah.
What do you think he's going? Miami going to call him?
Levitt? I don't think him and Cristobal. Well, actually, him and Cristobal might get along because he's kind of a social terrorist, and I mean that in like he's fiery, and he's not necessarily like
he's like Pavia.
No, I think Pavia's teammates genuinely like him.
Oh, okay.
I think that Sam's a little abrasive towards teammates. Okay. I think that they appreciate how hard he plays and that he works hard and all that stuff. So I'm not saying that they dislike that. I just think he's a little rough with his teammates when it's hard. Okay. When I got drafted with Byron Leftwich.
Mm-hmm.
I like B Left. But the issue that players had with B Left was that he wanted to hold people to a standard of here, but he didn't hold himself to that same standard. But yes, he did expect high level of play out of himself. So I'm not saying that. It was just more being critical of people when you still making some little bitty errors. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you gotta get yourself up to here where you're eliminating this level of errors, and then you can be, hey, yo, you got to come up here. You can't be we on the same error level, and
you can't criticize a receiver's route when your footwork was off, which led to a pass that went over the receiver's head.
Yes,
right.
Correct.
It's like, bro, or you can bring it up, but you just can't be coming down on people like you're perfect.
Yeah,
I get that. All right, Texas A&M's Marcel Reed. Missouri running back Ahmad Hardy, Jaden Mavia is on here. So here's the thing, though. The three lists I look at, CBS, ESPN, and somewhere else, did not have Dante Moore. And I don't believe that's because no one thinks he would be a candidate. It's almost it seems like because people just assume he's leaving. Now, and
I can tell you that Oregon has made a very, very aggressive offer to him. Very aggressive.
So Mel Kiper has him as the number one quarterback in the draft.
Okay.
I believe. Someone recorded that.
He does. He just put out his list.
So if he's top 5, if he's top 10, how do you not go?
Because, first of all, the amount of money that he would be getting to come back is
It's not more than the guaranteed $28-30 million he's going to get from the NFL.
No,
plus you get to your next contract quicker.
Yes, that. However, getting to your next contract is harder because he needs more reps. He needs more reps. I
agree.
think that he will make himself an additional 3, guarantee that he gets to be a second contract guy by coming back. So he'll make himself $300 million by postponing $20 million. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, you're assuming that if he left early, he wouldn't also do the same thing. But you're saying he'd have a better chance of maximizing his talent by coming back, which I agree with, because I just don't feel like he's really done enough to solidify himself as being ready.
Be a second-round pick next year because his skill set translates. You see what I'm saying? His
100%.
skill set is good football player. His skill set is not, oh man, I'm a runner and I need all of these things to go right for me. No, he's going to have an offensive line. He's going to have weapons. There's nothing to believe that. And then he's going to be even better. He's accurate. There's nothing in his game that feels like it's Anthony Richardson where it could get exposed next year. You see what I'm saying?
No, I agree.
The only thing it's going to do is be better.
Right. And look, Mariota would have been a top 10 pick. He came back for that third year as a starter, fourth year with the program. Herbert would have been a first round pick, if not top 10. He came back for a fourth year, 3.5 years as a starter to refine himself. Dante has one good season under his belt. Yeah. Definitely would benefit. But
and he doesn't have enough starts. He's only got 18 starts in his career.
Right, exactly. And of course, the big difference is Mariota and Herbert, at least that we know of, weren't being paid to come back. They might have been a little bit, who knows, but nothing like the millions that Dante Moore could get for coming back next season. So, look, I don't know the kid like you do. I can't say whether he is or isn't going to come back. I think he would benefit from it, and it's not like he's going to be broke.
We got 3 All-Americans, though, AP All-Americans.
Do we? Or do you? Sorry. Who?
Emmanuel Pregnon, first-team All-American.
This just came out?
Yep.
Okay.
Ducks posted it 11 minutes ago. And 29 seconds ago, Kenyon Sadiq and Dylan Thieneman, second-team All-American.
Okay, so 1 first and 2 second?
Yep.
Any honorable mentions?
They have not posted that yet. They're spreading out the tweets. So they put them out 10 minutes apart. So in 10 minutes, I'll check again.
Okay.
So we may have an update for honorable mentions, which who could end up an honorable mention?
Bryce, Finney.
Yep.
Did Mateo, he didn't really
I think Tatum could end up all Tatum Tuioti could. He was phenomenal this year. Oh, candidate, dude. I'm telling you, number 22, candidate is going to be a very long NFL player. I don't know how long everybody else going to play, but that is an NFL player, a long time one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let's tackle this then. Dante Moore comes back.
That means you probably get Puncho back if he comes back.
Oh, really? Okay. So Moore comes back.
Mm-hmm.
Are you calling your shot right now? Finalist, or are you calling he's going to win it?
I'm not going to call a win. I'll call finalist. I would feel very confident that if Dante Moore comes back and he starts the season and finishes the season, he will be a Heisman finalist.
Okay.
Because the number one, if he comes back, the Oregon marketing machine for this dude is going to be on. It is going to be on from the time the season is up, from the time spring ball starts till.
Could we see a banner in New York?
I don't doubt it. I do not doubt it.
Or somewhere, yes. Right?
L.A., New York. It'll be some sort. It'll be like the Duck at Big Ten Media Day. It might be a Dante Moore at Big Ten Media Day thing. Who knows?
Let me ask you this. What did you think when Joey's poster went up in New York?
Shocked. I was like, but we all loved it. Because we were trying to put Oregon on the map.
Right. And
people were talking about us finally. And it was probably one of the best things that they ever did.
Yeah. It was.
And then second would be like the
special.
billboards in LA were awesome too. I hope they put billboards back in LA.
Now who else did they? What was his name? Oh my God, Malik Hairston. You remember him, the basketball player at Oregon?
Yep.
He was out of Detroit. They put a banner up, or they put a billboard up in Detroit with him on it. And because they were trying to spread that brand, like, hey, look, Detroit area, this guy's a duck from your hometown. And then it became a controversy because someone in the conference tried to blow the whistle that this was a promised extra benefit. Yeah. But he received no money for it. Yeah. And it was like, is that a violation to put to say, hey, we're going to put a banner, a post or a billboard up of you? Like, I remember covering that. It was just weird. Like, why are people complaining about this?
How's that an extra benefit?
So to think about that now, or even to think about the Cam Newton 180,000 controversy, to think about that in today's world is just hilarious.
Like, who cares? It only costs 180 million. It only costs 180,000
grand.
Oh, God, for Cam Newton? That's the best deal. That's the best deal in college football history. You got a Heisman and a national championship for 180,000.
He's underpaid. Give him 1.8 million.
That'll cost you $6 million now.
I know. And people were trying to of course, he denied getting it. His dad denied getting it. He didn't even go to the school that offered it. Wasn't it Ole Miss or Mississippi State who offered it? Not Auburn, right? Something like that?
Yeah, it was somebody
else.
But
people were like questioning his character. I remember I was like, wait a minute. Y'all can get into the weeds with the rules and this if you want to, but Cam Newton's going to bring tens of millions of dollars to Auburn. And to cry that he might have got paid $180,000 is being disingenuous because he's worth $1.8 million at least. And now you look at what's happening today, and it just proves that those kids back then were absolutely robbed. Anyway, all right. So I agree with you. I think Dante, would have everything we saw from him this year will take a tick up in terms of his overall awareness. In terms of his accuracy will go up, his big play ability go up. The game will slow down even further for him, and I think he definitely could have a season that makes him a finalist for sure. I'm with you on that. All right, last but not least, we're not going to get into the salacious details of the Michigan scandal.
Other than to say, what happened?
Yeah, so a bunch of stuff happened with their coach. Some kind of scandal made for daytime TV. Yeah, Trump. He got in trouble for some stuff. But let's not get into that.
Did he get fired?
Yeah, he got fired.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah,
I missed it.
And the AD that fired him got fired. It's just a big giant mess in Michigan right now. And they did that. Recruiting is going to be in this anyway. But let's talk about who could fill that job, because if you've been out there on Twitter saying Kalen DeBoer, Bama's coach, is definitely in the mix. Yes. Jed Fish, Washington's coach, has been named as a candidate. Dillingham has been named, but he's about to finalize a new deal with Arizona State. So go ahead and give me your spiel. Let's go. Break it down.
So Kalen DeBoer put out a statement yesterday, right? So actually, let's go back a few days prior.
Okay.
I put out a video and some statements. I believe that Kalen DeBoer is highly likely to be Michigan's next head coach, but there are a couple other names in the mix, like Clark Lee from Vanderbilt, PJ Fleck from Minnesota, that those two names were in the mix as well. And if not, then expect Jed Fish to be in that conversation as well. All Alabama fans heard was, I think he's highly likely to be the next head coach, right? They didn't pay attention to anything else, like,
nuance. Forget nuance.
Yes. Like, they reacted like people with the 45th state educational rankings. So,
shots fired. Go ahead. I didn't say that. He did.
I said it. So then he comes out with a statement yesterday, and they're like, George, look, he says, I never even talked to anybody. I didn't entertain anybody. I didn't want another job. Bullish. You were, I didn't talk to anybody because your agents was talking to him.
Exactly.
This is the Mario Cristobal special. I haven't talked to anybody. Yes, you did.
It's the Taggart special. It's the Chip Kelly special. Go ahead, continue.
Don't sit up here.
It's all coaches do.
And then
It's
they asked him, he was like, I love it here. I'm this, I'm that. Man, listen. There are people on your, and then yesterday, before the news came out, before that happened, I tweeted out, I said, there are 2 contract extensions sitting on coaches' desks right now that are unsigned. One of them, I did not believe a contract extension was even in the works. And then 2 hours later, Kalen DeBoer puts out this statement, and then, coincidental timing, 10 minutes later, they're working on a new contract for him, but nothing signed yet. Because we know, bro, why would you be offering Kalen DeBoer, who's on an 8-year, $87 million deal, a top 10 highest paid coach in college football, and a contract extension if he has no intention on leaving?
Or if he's not getting an offer, maybe.
Yes. And because he's living up, and is he living up to your Alabama expectations? No. So why on earth would you be giving him a contract extension? Because you don't want him walking out the door. So, but I thought he wasn't entertaining anything. So why are we getting a contract extension?
Well, okay. Well, you can also leverage interest as well.
Yeah, but
even
that's
if you have no intention of leaving, you can say, I don't really want to leave, but man, they're talking to me. Y'all got to raise the ante and the team's going to do it. So after
the SEC championship, their fans are on their message board. We need to fire Kalen. Fired Kalen. He sucks. We lost by 21 points. After the Florida State game, this is the same guy that people were talking about. If they win the Powerball, that they're going to donate the $70 million to fire him. So, but now all of a sudden, this is the coach that you can't lose.
Oh, you're talking. Okay, gotcha. Okay,
stop it, Alabama. This dude, even after that, if they lose to Oklahoma, I expect him until they say that they have agreed on a contract and it's signed. If they lose to Oklahoma, I fully expect him to go to Michigan.
Really,
fully,
and partly because Bama would be okay with that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But Alabama doesn't really want to do that because it's a shallow pool of candidates now. Because now
right.
the party's over at 10 p.m. and you're showing up at 9:58.
Talking about where the party at.
Hoping to pull a Matt Campbell out of the hat.
So then Lanning to Bama?
Yep. That's it. That's the one. Duck fans, they're gonna tell you to be terrified. Alabama's open again. Here comes Dan Lanning. No, he's not.
Because his wife doesn't want to be in Tuscaloosa.
Because the grass is damn green in Eugene. That's why. And I can see your brain over there working. Oh, I actually hope that hold on. No, listen. Here's what Aaron Fentress hopes. I believe that Aaron Fentress hopes that this happens just to see what happens. He doesn't have a vet. He would rather Dan Lanning not leave. I 100% believe that. But he wants to have his theory pressure tested. That's what he wants. He wants to see what happens if Alabama opens. And he didn't believe that Dan Lanning was the first call last time, despite me telling him that. And now he wants to see it pressure tested because where else could Alabama go? And then his theory would be pressure tested, and he would either have to, and he would be able to say, damn, George, you were right. He stood up to what he said and what you said. Or, see, I told you he'd leave. Am I right or am I wrong, Aaron?
You are 100% on point. Absolutely. You know me well, George Wrighster. See, there's a difference between what I want to see happen necessarily and what I sort of believe and predicted, and that sort of that seduction of that coming true. But I've always said there's certain situations I hope I'm wrong, but it's just too often I just am. And I'm 3-0 with coaching stuff at Oregon. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes with Lanning. But the wife thing, look, if his wife is saying, I do not want to go to Tuscaloosa, that's a huge deal. Like it just that's a difference maker. That's something that nothing can combat. But it doesn't mean that he wouldn't do it if it wasn't for his wife.
Yeah,
those are two different things.
Here's the other thing, Aaron, is that sometimes coaches, they lose sight of this because they don't understand. And this is where I believe that Dan understands this era of college football very, very well. Leaving Oregon to go to Alabama, what do you actually gain? Can you sign a better recruiting class? No, not really. Like you can sign the same recruiting class at Oregon as you can at Alabama. Is it a little bit harder? Yes, but it's been proven here. And it's the truth. Like nobody has more 5 stars signed in their class than Oregon.
I know, but sometimes the star rankings, there's a difference between a 4-star receiver and another. Like Jamar Chase was a 4-star receiver. The Ducks have had 24-star receivers the last 20 years, and not one of them comes close to Jamar Chase.
He couldn't catch when he first got to school either. So it was appropriately ranked. So I'm not getting into all of that part of it. I'm just saying is that the teams that have the most 5-star kids are in contention for championships.
True.
So you are. Leaving to go to Alabama, it only increases your risk because Dan Lanning, and here's the truth, he's got the administration by the short and curlies. And granted, and it's not even like in a bad way, I'm saying is that if he asks for something, he's going to get it. You know what I mean? There's adoration from the fan base. The sentiment is good. You leave and go to Alabama. Now you're under the every time you lose. Now they want you like it's just not worth like the juice ain't worth the squeeze. Right. It'd be different if it was like LA or something and it's somewhere in your family and like for instance like Lincoln Riley, right? He did call about like there were some talks, but he was like nah with like the Penn State situation and stuff like that, right? So, but Lincoln Riley loves living in Los Angeles. He likes living off the cliff in Palos Verdes, seeing the ocean he's that kind of guy. He ain't going to give that up to just go to Auburn. You know what I mean? He's a coastal guy. He likes going out in the sun, being tanned, wife like being like he's a coastal guy. He could survive in Miami, he could survive in, like some coastal places. But he ain't a Midwest. Like, that's why he left Oklahoma. He'd rather be on the coast.
Right. I will say this. I've always felt that Nick Saban's 7 national titles is a tainted number. It's almost as tainted as Armstrong's 7 Tour de France's because he did a great job. He's a great coach. He did a great job recruiting. But Bama was in a position where basically, if you compare it to the NFL, it's like having 5 first-round picks, 5 second-round picks, and unlimited cap space every year. You should win a bunch of Super Bowls. So again, I'm not taking all credit from him. I'm saying the 7 was ridiculous. The 7 was a program.
You know what it's kind of like, Aaron?
What?
It's kind of like the Boston Celtics in the 50s and 60s with the championships.
With 8 Hall of Famers.
Yeah, or UCLA in the 70s.
Right.
In college basketball.
Right. And we all know they were paying players. Orgeron was just on some podcast joking about it, right? Yeah. I remember back at the Rose Bowl, the 2011 season Rose Bowl, where D'Anthony Thomas had those 2 long runs when they beat Wisconsin, Russell Wilson's Wisconsin. There was an NFL scout I used to talk to all the time about Ducks, and I met at a tailgate with him and a Dallas Cowboys scout from the South at their little tailgate outside, just a 2-man tailgate. And we were talking shop, and they were talking about players in the SEC being paid. And the Dallas Cowboys scout was like, oh, dude, you have no idea how bad it is down there. And I was like, so was it like Eric Dickerson, SMU? He goes, oh, yeah. He's like, that's nothing. So we all knew that was happening. And that gives you a huge advantage.
Plus, Cravens even talks about that now.
We knew that was going on. And I'm not going to say Oregon was 100% clean all the time. They might have done little things here and there. Who knows? But
it wasn't
they weren't
on that
doing
level,
that.
I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, they weren't doing that. And so that's an advantage. Plus, the transfer portal made it so guys couldn't just bail without sitting out a year. So you could hoard depth. Yep. So you're keeping dudes that are backups who could be playing for someone else and making them better, thus making your schedule tougher. So with the transfer portal and with the NIL, Bama's talent level drops down.
Yep.
Which means someone like Oregon elevates up. So from that standpoint, it changes the power dynamic in terms of, and I agree with this. Like for Lanning, if Lanning feels like he can recruit to Oregon the same way he could to Bama, it doesn't make sense for him to leave unless he just has this craving to be at Alabama or be in the SEC. Because, and like you said, 100% really, he hasn't won a playoff game. He hasn't even really come close to a national championship. He has got one conference title, and he is a god in this state already, which is hilarious to me, but that's just how it is. And the fact that Oregon fans have been scarred, not so much by Chip. I think a lot of people felt Chip would be someone who could leave, and he left for the NFL. But the Taggart 1 year thing, and then the Mario thing, when Mario was doing so well, that scars you. So to have someone pass up, allegedly, Bama, is a big deal for the fan base, and it elevates your godlike status. So I'm with you in that.
Because
there's fewer incentives. There's fewer incentives these days for someone like him to bail for somewhere like that than there were 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Yeah, and the reason why, Aaron, is because people feel better when they feel chosen, right? Because nobody wants, truthfully, nobody wants anybody that nobody else don't want. You know what I mean? Like, it's the truth. Like, I've married my wife. You married your wife. If nobody else wanted her, you probably wouldn't want her. It's the truth. If nobody else wanted you, she probably wouldn't want you. But like, but then the actual magic is in the fact of when people choose each other or they get chosen, and then somebody else, and then the supermodel walks down the street and is like, hey, come over here with me. I love you too. And he's like, nah, bro, I'm good. I'm married. Like,
so Bama's a supermodel in this equation?
A couple years ago, yes.
Yeah. Okay. I hear you.
So that's what I'm saying. Is that that's why people love him so much, is because when you choose somebody and then you go through struggles together and all of that stuff, that binds people. And when he's shown loyalty to them, to the school, that's a big deal.
Right. No, I agree. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out over the years. But I don't think he's necessarily going to leave for Bama. Dude, listen to me, man. College football is insane. It is a toxic, psychotic world. The fan bases, the way people trip out over a single loss or even a single play call, it feels like more people want to fire their coach than embrace their coach on a week-to-week basis. It's unbelievable. And it's so delusional. There's not some magic coach out there that's going to make everything perfect. You're going to have ups and downs. It's just part of it. And now parity is more prevalent than ever before. So it drives me bananas. All right. Anything else?
Nope.
We covered it all. I feel like we missed something, but probably not. And we're still. Let's give our. We haven't done our too early threat level. I got a threat level of. I'm gonna say 1.
What?
Only because here's why I'm saying 1. I'm not gonna. What, you think it's higher?
Yes.
Okay, I'm saying 1. Only I would say 0 if it wasn't for the fact that it might rain. So if it rains, then that could slow everything down. It could be like Wisconsin. I don't think it's going to be like Iowa. I think it could be like Wisconsin, where you're controlling the game, but you're not putting up 40. You're putting up in the 20s. But it's also going to slow them down. So they're not going to score more than 10. So you're going to win, but, a couple fumbles here in the rain, a fumble return for a touchdown, a block. Then next thing you know, it's 17-14 in the fourth, and anything can happen. So I'm going to make it a 1 just because of that. Otherwise, the Ducks run right through these cats. So I went through their rosters. I'm doing a story on the recruiting disparities. JMU's roster is made up of Power 4 recruits who fell down a level and FCS recruits they plucked. Like all the top 3 receivers are all FCS receivers who they brought up. And then they have, sprinkled in 2- and 3-star recruits that they've developed. Oregon's recruiting base, we all know, blue chippers and then blue chip transfers. If Oregon were to lose this game, it would be arguably the most disappointing loss in the history of the program. And I don't think that, and I'm even going to, I could do some research if I want to, but Yeah, no, I don't even think I need to. Losing to a group of 6 program in the play, I shouldn't even be in the playoffs. In the playoffs at home, oh my God. Then you might hear some fire landing chatter. So yeah, there's other than a bunch of fluker stuff, there's no way.
That'll send all the goodwill out the door.
And then Bam will be like, yeah, no, we're cool. We're cool, bro. We're cool. We're gonna go with it. Okay, so
we can lose. We can keep this guy and lose to Florida State.
Exactly. So I'm gonna say if it rains, like considerably, I'm gonna say 30-10. If it doesn't rain, I'm gonna say 44-16, something like that.
Aaron?
I know you with me.
I'm going to give this a threat level of 3.5.
You are hater. Oh my God. And people call me the hater. It's on a scale of 1 to 5.
We
you're
have
going
established
70%
on Twitter recently, just so everybody knows, in case anybody doesn't follow us on Twitter, Aaron Fentress has been exposed on Twitter as an Oregon homer.
I'm not a homer. I'm just
people. They called you that on Twitter. He's been called on Twitter as an Oregon homer
by Husky fans or Beavers fans. They call me a Oregon homer.
But hey, man, it's okay. Or Aaron Fentress. I found those tweets hilarious. I was like, Aaron Fentress has been exposed. Oregon homer. Newsflash to all Oregon fans. So the reason why I'm saying 3.5, Oregon hasn't played a game since they'll be off for 3 weeks. That scares the hell out of me. JMU's been off for 2 weeks. That automatically takes the threat level up 1.5 points just because we've been off for so long. Then you're going to be trying to possibly incorporate some injured guys back into the mix. It's scary, Aaron. It's scary. So, and this JMU team is a good football team. They're dangerous with their quarterback. He runs. It's a minimum threat level 2. And then the fact that we haven't played in 3 weeks makes that's 1.5 points up. But with all of that said, I think Aaron is right. 44-16. Actually, no, because 16 is a stupid number. So I'm going to give you 4.
No, it's not. It's 3 field goals and a touchdown. And an extra point. That's reasonable. 16 is reasonable.
Yeah, but I don't think they go for 3 field goals because they're more likely to have turnovers on downs than
they'll go for 2 on their second touchdown and fail. 16 is a very common number.
Yeah, but I think that because if Oregon gets out of they would have to kick those field goals early.
Okay, I just like throwing out numbers. I'm
gonna go 45-6. Actually, 16 is actually not terrible. I'm going to go 45-16 instead of coming up with weirdo 44-16.
When we do our picks every week at the Oregonian, which I put in zero research, I always come up with crazy numbers like 29-18. I got that from Chris Berman. Remember Chris Berman back in the day?
I know you told us
the Bills and the Jets. It's going to be a battle in the Meadowlands. I'm going to go 13-12 Buffalo.
and all he was doing was talking about the spread, code wise.
Right, exactly. But he always came with these crazy numbers. All right, that's it for this episode of the Ducks Confidential podcast. We'll be back later in the week with a more in-depth preview of the game. We're going to break it down, sort of, kind of, and try and see if George can justify that 3.5. But anyway, we'll catch y'all then. Thanks for listening. I'm Aaron Fentress. He's George Wrighster.
Hold on.
What?
First of all, I want to thank everybody too. And probably should have said this in the beginning, man. I want to thank everybody who watches this show because you guys are the reason why we continue to do it, is because you guys show up. Views are going up. You guys are clearly either liking it or hating it so much that you hate watch it. Either way is fine. But we appreciate you guys, and it's been a labor of love, and I've had to put up with Aaron. He's had to, I've had to wait on him for shows to start, like all sorts of stuff.
Now, that's not true.
So I just wanted to say thanks. And I know that the season's not over yet. We still got a lot of stuff to go, but it's the holiday season, and I'm feeling very appreciative because you guys have given us a lot of opportunity, and hopefully we can come back next year too and make it even bigger and better, and put some money behind this joint too. So yeah.
I agree. I echo that sentiment. And, the whole hate watching thing, every week there's comments about, George needs to dump Fentress, and Fentress this, Fentress that, but it's usually the same people. So that means they're watching. And a friend of mine told me what this was like 8 years ago. He said, if you don't have haters, you're doing something wrong. Yeah. And Cat Williams said that. Do you remember Cat Williams in stand up? Yeah. He's like, what you crying about haters for? You should be going out there and trying to get you more haters. So,
exactly.
Haters gonna hate, but I think haters deep down, I think they truly love.
Yeah, man.
They truly do. They truly do. All right, thanks for listening. We'll catch you next week or later this week.
Yeah.